Heyo, I'm KitiDough, and welcome to my channel. If you clicked on this video, I imagine you're here to listen to me rant about my first job. Or you just really liked my thumbnail. In either case, pull up a chair and pop some corn while I set the scene. As stated, my job at Hershey Park was my first job. Specifically as a teen. More specifically, over my summer vacation. And let me tell you, as a kid, there was no greater joy than getting out of school so that you could clock into a job. But it was high school, and I had a dire case of money doesn't grow on trees. Itis. It's a serious epidemic that affects 1 in 3 teens in America. Moment of silence. Back to the story. I found my job after a thrilling presentation hosted in my art room by my future managers. We're gonna call them Karen and whoo, I could talk about them. But we'll save that for another video. And I know what you're thinking. Why would a job for Hershey Park be presenting in an art room? I'll tell you. They were advertising doing face painting and other art inside the park. It meant that I could draw instead of work on my vacation and get paid. Naturally, I was more than willing to apply, and then I was hired. Only to realize that I had my work cut out for me. It's expected that well-known establishments attract all walks of people. And I mean all walks of people. And in the service industry, it was my job to hold any instinct I may otherwise have and be, well, serviceable. So today, I want to talk about the rudest family I ever dealt with and what made me first miffed with my managers and thusly my job. For context, the specific company I worked for had gifts and awards for the employees that went above and beyond the call of duty. Kinda like an employee of the month, but better. Companies do this to help their workers to want to be kind to their customers, even if those customers aren't, per se kind back, because the employee knows they'll be rewarded for it. So, when I was hired as a caricature artist, I tried my darndest to make each customer feel satisfied because I wanted that award. And as a caricature artist, we were told that unlike the other artists we had at other stands, we weren't there to sell a piece of artwork or a picture. We were there to sell an experience. We had 2 shifts, day shift, night shift. And I tended to work the latter. Working the night shift meant that I had to bring in the easels, the chairs, balance the register, check on our radios, close up the tent, so on and so on. And all of this has to happen after the park closes. We get half an hour to do all of that and then haul our butts to HQ. All bragging intended, my record for doing this all was in 15 minutes. I was a work legend. I wasn't a work legend. But I was proud of you. You being me. Anyways, for the most part, closing shift was relaxing. It wasn't hot, the park was less crowded, all that good jazz. However, on this particular evening, whilst I was counting the register, mind you, this woman walks up. Hi, are you guys still open? Technically, Great! I just want one caricature. It won't be that long. I was trapped. I knew it. My bosses always said, no matter how close to closing it was, you always take in the customer. But it was late. I just wanted to go home. I did all I could. I told her. I said, look, I can't draw as well in the dark. She said it didn't matter. So I said, oh, well, you'd have to stay after closing. Didn't matter. She was stubborn. Nothing fazed her. And to be honest, I kind of really wanted that employee reward. So, with that in mind, sure, I can do it.
Wonderful. My kids are just getting off the Great Bear right now, so it'll be me, my husband, and them.
What? We charge per face, not per piece of paper. So you'd be looking at paying for 4 caricatures instead of 1.
That's fine, dearie.
Of course, ma'am. 20 minutes past closing. I'll spare you the bloody details. I finished that drawing, and it was probably one of the worst drawings I did in my whole career. I kid you not, there was Hershey Park security guards waiting to escort this family out when I was done. Now, I go to ring these people up so I can redo all of my closing procedures and get out of Compton when...
Oh, can we buy a frame?
Yes, we did sell frames. Yes, I did not want to have to go through the spiel of all of the framing options because we have 4 different frames ranging from price of $27 to $60. If you buy the $40, $50, or $60 frames, we'll throw in a $7 mat for free. We also offer double or triple matting options. Each mat added is an additional $7. Oh, and we'll sell you a stamp that can go onto that mat for just $5 extra.
Oh, can we get the triple matting on the $40 frame and a stamp?
Of course, ma'am. So I get this thing matted, I go and I put the stamp on, and...
I don't like how the stamp came out. Can you do it again?
She came behind my counter and then proceeded to make me stamp 2 more mats until she was satisfied. At this point, I finally get the chance to ring them up. They pay with cash, $120, which is great. I'm going to give them $10 in change. And I think to myself, logically, they might give me a tip if I give them some ones. So I give them a 5 and then 5 ones, hoping that after all I did for them, they might kick something back to me. They just leave. No tip. Gone. Security escorted them out. So I balance the register and I go back to my station to clock out.
Where were you?
I took in a last-minute customer and they stayed past closed, so I had to close up everything super late.
Thank you. That is some great initiative.
What are you still doing here?
Go on, have a good night.
I go out to the parking lot, and I get into the car, and I go home, and I wait a few days, and no, I never get any reward. I never got any recognition for anything that I did for that awful family. 'Cause it turns out that the only people who get those kinds of rewards were our manager's favorite people, the hair wrapping and the face painting station, not the stations like caricatures. So, yeah. I came to the realization that this was just a summer job and my employers really didn't care what I did. So, in a slight retaliation, I may or may not have started closing just a little earlier than I should have. Just if I knew I couldn't fit in a caricature at the end of the day, that's when I started closing up my shop and counting my money and getting ready to get out. Moral of the story: summer jobs suck, no matter what job it is. Better moral of the story is treat your employees with respect, and if you treat them with respect, then they'll treat your customers with respect or their job with respect. It's a glorifying cycle, but somebody's got to start it, and we all know the employees aren't getting paid enough to start it. But that's all for today. If you want to hear more about Hershey Park or any other job that I've ever had, let me know. Otherwise, expect a new video in the next few weeks up on my channel. And if you liked this video, please subscribe, tell a friend about it, or you could, support my Patreon. Anything helps. And thank you so much for any support that you give me. Bye! Are you still here? Well, here's a quick Joke for you if you are. What's a cat's favorite thing to wear? Go on, I'll give you time to think about it. I'll play the Jeopardy music, but you can't do that. You ready for it? Perfume. All right, seriously, gotta go. Bye.